Anyone who loves wrestling loves The Rock. He is one of the most iconic wrestlers of all time, a WWE champion, amazing actor, and even a spectacular singer. Many people can't imagine wrestling without seeing his iconic eyebrow twitch, or without hearing those infamous words, "Can you smell what The Rock is cooking?" This is why it's crazy surprising for wrestling fans to not know whether or not The Rock will be included in the upcoming WWE 2K22 video game. That's right. No one knows yet if the myth, the man, the legend, The Rock, will appear in the wrestling game he has been in since 2013. Saying that, let's get into some info on what we might think happened and why The Rock might not be in the upcoming video game. Background: what the heck is going on with WWE video games? WWE has had wildly successful video games since the 2000s. Their last game left a lot to be desired. Let's just say WWE 2K20 was a pile of you-know-what, which had tons of bugs and glitches. The game was almost unplayable. Now, 2K, the company in charge of WWE video games, has to really deliver with 2K22. Fans won't buy another failure like 2K20. Fans know what they want: a high-quality, fast-paced, and skillful wrestling game with plenty of taunts, outfits, and of course, all their favorite wrestlers. If 2K doesn't include The Rock, they are going to smell what the fans are cooking. What they're cooking is a boycott on 2K games. The pressure is on for 2K to deliver the best game in the whole series history. Let's hope for their sake that they do. Was The Rock in every 2K WWE game? This is kind of a trick question, but yes, The Rock has been featured in every 2K WWE game. He has not been in every WWE SmackDown game, however. So before 2013, the WWE games were owned and made by a different company. But the year The Rock joined, the roster was the same year 2K bought and started developing the games, alongside Uke, the original company. Still, The Rock is essential to WWE in general. He is the bedrock of the sports foundation. He is the keystone to the bridge that is WWE. Okay, I'll stop the puns now. Why might The Rock not be in the game? Your guess is as good as ours for why 2K might not have The Rock in their game, but we do have some different theories as to why the legend might not show up in the newest installment. A bad deal could have happened between WWE and 2K where they didn't include The Rock in their list of superstars. Alternatively, a big deal could have happened between The Rock and WWE. Who knows? Maybe The Rock wants more money, or he doesn't like how the last game turned out and doesn't want to be associated with 2K. Or maybe WWE doesn't think putting The Rock into the game is necessary. Another idea is that The Rock may be added into the game later via a big DLC, downloadable content, after the game is released. This could very well be the case, as fans would love to have The Rock back in the ring and would be eager to pay for more Rocktastic content. This is the most unlikely reason, but maybe they just forgot to add him. This would be really unlikely because, gosh darn it, he's one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. The last theory is that Stone Cold Steve Austin sabotaged 2K and deleted The Rock's avatar from the game. I know, it's just like the drunk son of a gun to pull something like this. It's highly likely Stone Cold Steve Austin is getting vengeance on The Rock for all those years of beatdowns, pile drivers, and folding chairs to the back. When will that feud ever end? Who else is in the game? We don't know the entire roster of 2K22 yet, but there are some definite yeses. In the trailer, we see a hyper-realistic Rey Mysterio grinning, putting on his mask. He's also, of course, putting the hurt on an angry-looking Randy Orton. So far, there are 22 definite wrestlers who will be in 2K22, along with big names such as Booker T, Carmella, Kofi Kingston. There are others like Shelton Benjamin, Kane, Rhea Ripley. Many fans are eagerly awaiting to see if Batista will be a part of the newest rendition. Another big name missing is Dominic Mysterio. Some fans speculate that releasing characters bit by bit is a deliberate ploy to raise excitement about the game, like how Super Smash Bros. Has done since Brawl. 2K will likely leave us in the dark about most of the legendary characters until the release of the game. What can you do in this new WWE game? The biggest upgrades, the newest installment in the series, 2K says will include new controls for your fighters, incredible hyper-realistic graphics, and a completely redesigned engine. Part of the reason the characters are going to look so good is because the graphics come from actual facial scans of the wrestlers' heads, so it'll capture every crease and pore on Booker T's gorgeous face. Did I say that out loud? Most fans are looking forward to a revival of the GM, or or General Manager mode from the SmackDown vs. Raw games. 2K hasn't confirmed it yet, but with fans being very vocal about their desire for this game mode, 2K would have to be stupid to not try to implement something like it. The roster is meant to be bigger than ever. It should include tons of men and women from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and NXT UK, and of course, WWE legends like The Rock. Other possible features could be custom music for menus and fights, better gameplay features, live updates for glitches as well as balancing the fighters, and story creation mode. Others would really like to see cross-platform fighting and creation. Create a superstar wrestler and DLC superstars. Why is The Rock so iconic in wrestling? Maybe some of us don't remember the glory days of The Rock, who started his career in the 90s, ended it in the 2000s, and came back in the 2010s. The Rock comes from a family of wrestlers. His dad and his grandfather were wrestlers, so what he did in WWE was in his blood. He gained popularity really quickly in WWE because of his charismatic demeanor, but also his hilarious smack talk. He, of course, had iconic one-liners. He won his first WWF championship in 1998, becoming the first black winner in professional wrestling's history. The Rock is emblematic to the Attitude Era, when wrestlers were all about great storylines, costumes, and of course, that amazing smack talk. He stopped to pursue acting in 2004, but he made a crazy great comeback in 2011 when he had a feud with John Cena. He stayed and made sporadic appearances until 2019. No one, absolutely no one, is as iconic as The Rock. He had the stage presence of a god. His smack talk was always on point. He could just look at the camera and you would either burst out laughing or feel scared as hell. Thanks for making wrestling great, you absolute legend. What is The Rock cooking? Let's take a look back at what The Rock has been up to outside of his wrestling career. The Rock has been busy outside of wrestling since 2002, when he was the lead actor in The Scorpion King. Some of his most famous acting projects were Moana, San Andreas, and the Jumanji films. Of course, we can't leave out his performance as Luke Hobbs in the Fast and Furious films. His IMDb page is chock full. We also have to give a special shout out to his series, Ballers. He plays extraordinarily well in this comedy drama. We all know The Rock is always up to something, whether that's making music, acting in fantastic movies, or yes, cooking. So what's The Rock up to now? Well, he's got some great films on the horizon. The Rock will take part in DC League of Super Pets, an animated film about animal versions of DC superheroes. We also can look forward to him acting alongside Emily Blunt in Disney's The Jungle Cruise, a movie about a famous Disney theme park ride of the same name. He is also taking on the part of Black Adam, who will finally have his own standalone film. Some fans are hoping The Rock will do a second San Andreas movie, but we don't know when or if that's coming. Another project we're not sure about is Big Trouble in Little China, which The Rock confirmed in 2015, but hasn't announced anything new since 2018. Many fans are deeply disappointed to hear that The Rock won't appear in any more Fast and Furious movies, but don't worry, there will be plenty of great The Rock content without F&F. Conclusion: even though we don't know if The Rock will be in 2K22, we can be sure his legacy will last long after we're all gone. He's been named Time's 100 most influential people and has a smile to make the most depressed person happy. 2K22 would need to be crazy to not include the sport's most iconic star, the one who brought wrestling into the mainstream by making amazing movies and bringing a whole lot of attitude. What do you think? Would you buy the 2K22 game if The Rock isn't in it? Leave a comment below to let us know, and like and subscribe for great WWE and video game content.